Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, finally we meet again. After so many full moons, in this moment, I will give you some lessons about inspiring story. Let's check this out. Stories are a great way to guide, teach, and inspire people. Inspirational stories are everyday stories that are realistic and contain a moral message. Inspirational story aim to inspire and exemplify reader. Source of inspirational stories can come from real everyday events or fictional story. This story can be happy, sad, or motivating. The moral message contained in inspirational story plays an important role in self-motivation and developing one personality. His stories can touch the heart and move. Inspirational stories have a text structure consisting of orientation, complexity of event, complication, resolution, and coda. Inspirational stories usually have a certain theme that can be developed into an interesting story. There is a storyline so that the reader can understand the message contained in it. Contains a message conveyed to the reader. Narrative, because it tells about someone or something that can inspire the reader. Tell the story of a character who is a role model. Characters can be fictive or real. Inspirational story structure, orientation, which is the section that contains the introduction of the character, the background of the character, and the theme. Complication is the part that tells the story or event experienced by the character in the story. This section is also a problem point that can inspire readers. Reorientation or coda, which is the end of the story that contains solution, wisdom, and moral value. Now, I will tell you an inspired story. The title is Mother with One Eye. My mom only had one eye. When I was growing up, I had her for that. I hate the way my friends treat me at school. I hate how the other kids looked at her and looked away in disgust. My mother worked 2 jobs to support the family, but I was so ashamed of her situation and didn't want to sin with her. Every time moms come to school, I feel like I want her to disappear. I felt a sort of hatred towards women that made me the laughing stock at school. At one time, when I want to vent to my extreme anger, I had even told my mother that I want her dead. I really don't care about her feeling. After I grew up, I did everything in my power to distance myself from my mother. I studied hard and got a job in the city so as not to run into her. I got married and start raising my own family. I'm busy with work and my family in order to provide a comfortable life for my beloved children. I don't even think about my mother anymore. However, unexpectedly, my mother came to visit my house one day. The one at face scared the kids and start crying. I was angry with my mother for showing up so suddenly and I forbid her to enter. Never come back here and disturb my family life. I screamed, but my mother just shut up and apologized. Then left speechless. Once upon a time, an invitation to a school reunion brought me back to my hometown after decades. I could not resist driving past my childhood home and stopping by Old Hut. My neighbor said that my mother was dead and left a letter for me. My dear son, I must begin this letter by apologizing for visiting your home unannounced and frightening your beautiful children. I am also very sorry because I was a woman who was disgraceful and source of humiliation for you. From when you were a child until you were growing up, I already knew that you would definitely come back here. I may no longer be here when you arrive, and I think it is a good time to tell you an accident that happened when you were a child. Do you know, my dear child? You got into an accident and lost an eye. Mother was devastated because she kept thinking about how my beloved son would grow up with only one eye. I want you to be able to see the beautiful world perfectly. So, I give you one eye. My dear child, Mother always has you and will always love you from the bottom of my mother heart. I have never regretted my decision to give my mother's eyes, and I feel calm when I am able to give you the ability to enjoy a complete life from your dear mother. After reading my mother's letters, I burst into tears. I'm so sorry. I always blame myself. Why was I never the least bit kind to my mother? I even had the heart to remove her, from my life. Even though my mother was always there to help me. What is the moral value? Can you make a conclusion? The moral value is never hurt the feeling of your parents because you never know what your parents have done. so that you can become what you are today. You also never know when a loved one will die forever. Okay, I think our lesson is enough. Thanks for your attention. Happy study. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.